Hi, good evening, all, and thank you very much for tuning into All India Runners Motivation. It gives me a lot of pleasure and pride and privilege to introduce this runner all the way from UK. He's a runner by passion, and he's someone who actually started running very early, long distance running, especially the marathon. At the age of 18, he started, and by the age of 23, he managed to complete 100 marathons, he broke the earlier record, and he was one of the youngest persons to complete 100 marathons. Apart from that, he holds the Guinness Book of World Record for completing 10 full marathons in 10 days, and his cumulative timing was 27 hours, 38 minutes, and 36 seconds. Apart from that, he's also won the British Championships for the 50K, and his timing is 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 2 seconds. The privilege and pride part of it is that this is the first time he's addressing runners in India, and his list of records keeps on growing and growing every year. And he's actually the one of the few people in the world who has won more than 200 marathons and ultra marathons. In UK, he's got the highest number of wins, and worldwide, I think he's in the position of 4. So it's amazing that he's here. So let's all welcome, first time in India, presenting Mr. Adam Tango Holland. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all good, thank you.
Okay, I know that you just came back from a race, so thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, just wanted to ask you this question. Adam Tango Holland, Tango is a nickname. How did this nickname came about?
From college, no one knew my name. I had just started, and I was climbing a wall, and I was near the top, and they wanted me to do something, but they didn't know my name, and I was wearing orange, and one of them shouted up Tango, and it stuck.
Okay, sounds nice.
Plain and simple.
So yeah, I think you have been known by that name more. So if you can just tell the viewers about a bit about yourself and your journey into athletics from your younger days, it'll be nice.
Cool. Well, I'm a runner. I'm very passionate about it, and I'm passionate about getting other people involved in it. I started at school because my friends did it, and then slowly worked my way up. I had a friend in my local town who used to take me to a lot of races around the UK. So without him, I probably would never be where I am here today, because I would never have done some of the races I was able to do with him. I started off at, well, track and field, cross country. I was 13 when I joined the local club, which
Okay.
was Tavistock Athletics Club.
Okay.
Then I did all that. 17, did my first half marathon, and then going into 18, nearly 19, my friend turns around to me and says, "Do I want to go and do this marathon?" And it was the same week, and I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And the furthest I'd done was a half. I went and did it, and I remember it being very tough. But I think it was just over 3 hours 30 minutes.
Yes, 3 hours 30 minutes, 34 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I remember someone giving me a top and I think a banana as well, just to keep me going.
Okay.
I wasn't one of those runners that said never again.
Okay.
Because I never trained for it, I just went and did it.
Okay.
And I got a place into the London Marathon the year after because of my club. And I just wanted to prove I deserved it. And I did a 2:51 at the age of 20.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, well, sadly, it never got picked up here in the UK, and no one jumped on board to try and obviously improve my time from that. But that obviously is history, and I've done other things better and I'm proud of.
Better and more.
More, a lot more.
So we got a few viewers just tuned in, just saying hello to you. So we got 𝐷𝐮𝐻. We have got Mr. 𝐽𝐫𝐽. and we got a viewer all the way from Egypt coming and saying hello, Mr.
Hey,
Hind. Yeah.
that's
So,
amazing.
so at the age of 13, you started, and at the age of 18, you ran your first marathon.
Yes, I reckon
Okay.
over here in the UK, you're not allowed to take part in a marathon before you're 18, and half marathon is 17. And
Okay.
a lot is race.
Okay.
Um, but over and obviously in the States, they can do it. A lot of them, for some reason, can do it a lot younger, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
So that's why I started at 18. And then I did 1, then 2 the following year, 3 the year after that. And the person I said about that took me to all the races, we were having a chat on the way back from half. And we had a discussion where he would like to get to 100 marathons by the time, I think he said 60. And I
Okay.
kind of like had a thought, wondered who the youngest was to do 100 marathons. At the time, it was Steve Edwards at the age of 28. And I worked out I had to do 13 a year from that point.
Okay.
I think it was a week after that, I booked myself into a marathon, and then the week after that, I had a double. So 1 Saturday, 1 Sunday, and it just grew from there. And that year, I did 25 marathons, 39 the year after that, and then 35 to complete it on the 10th of the 10th, 2010 at the Eden Project.
Yeah. So it's amazing. We got one more viewer from Bangalore, Aishwarya, who's coming and saying hello to you. Um, so so you actually had an increase in the marathons, the number of marathons you're doing at a later stage. But you told about your first run at the age of 18,
Yes.
and you did not train for it.
No.
But what did you learn from that actually?
I learned it was tough, and my style pacing when I was younger, and I still do it now sometimes, is go off fast and then see how long I can hold on for. And that was one of the first things I did. Obviously, went really quickly to start off with and completely died later on.
Okay.
I have learned from that and many other experiences, and I still try and do that because I still think I can do faster sometimes.
Okay.
But
Uh,
yeah,
you love running fast.
I do love running fast. I love
Okay.
giving it a go.
Okay, that's nice. So at that time, when did you start decided to become serious in running a marathon?
I guess, well, I wouldn't say serious. I have never really been completely serious with it.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I love the people I get to meet and the experience. All the marathons I do are different. Even the ones I've done more than once have been different each time. I've done London either 4 or 5 times, and each time it's been different because I had a different start or the weather's been different. It's just there are some times where I will take one race more seriously than the others. Um, for example, I did the Loch Ness Marathon, which was my PB one in 2018.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks before that, I did a 50k. I can't remember what I did. I did a race between that, and I was feeling really good. I did Park Run. If you don't know what that is, it's a 5k
Yes.
event free here in the UK.
Yeah.
Happens all over the world now.
Yeah.
I did that on the Saturday in Scotland, just over 16 minutes, and I was just feeling really great. I was well happy, and I obviously rocked up to the start line, followed these other 2 runners, and then they slowly disappeared. And then later on in the race, it's quite like a long hill. I could see him, and
Okay.
I was catching him. And on the way down, I just passed one of them and managed to finish second in 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 24 seconds.
Wow.
If any of you watch YouTube at all, obviously I have a channel, Adam Tango Holland, and I did do a video on that marathon, so you can see what my experience was like.
Wonderful. That's nice. I had a chance of looking at a few of your videos, and you have an amazing way of catching some beautiful scenery when you are, capturing the video. So it looks really nice.
There's some amazing places I've been to, and as you can tell, I'm taking it serious, but I'm not when I'm running. I'm enjoying it as well as trying to do well. and sometimes it's nice just to show people from my point of view, from being at the front of the course,
Okay,
because it's
that
different.
that nice. So at that time, when you were running a marathon, did you have any coach? No.
No coach. Yeah, I had a general club coach when I joined Tabby, going up through probably from 15, 16. I never had a coach for training. Then when I was, I think, probably 20, 24, 25, I had a coach for about a year trying to help me. And then I moved away, so it kind of fell short.
Okay. So how did you learn the ropes of running and running fast?
Lots and lots of uh, errors, experience, and just taking part in races, basically.
Okay.
One after another. Just every weekend I was racing, and that was my experience. That was my training.
Okay. So the racing, and then so every weekend you would race, and then you would get the recovery done during the week, and then race again.
So during the week, I'd be at work. I would sometimes try and find a race in the evening, and then Saturday I'd do the park run. Sometimes I have a race on Saturday evening, and then Saturday morning I'd have another race. Or if I can, I'd try and find multi-day marathons, which are like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on the odd occasion, I was able to find like a 7-7, or what I'm quite known for now is my 10 marathons in 10 days.
Yeah. So as the years progress, at the age of 23, you became the youngest person to complete 100 marathons in 100 day, and the volume increased in the 3 years for 3 years, right? 2008 to 2010. How did you manage such an increase in volume? Because the years before that, a couple of years before that, you're not running so much, but suddenly for that 3 years, you managed to complete. I think it was around 20, 25, 30, and 30,
Yeah,
something similar. How did you manage such an increase in volume?
it was just that was it basically. Just having a go, wasn't running at my fastest, doing multi-day races, and quite a few of the ones down here where I am are on the coastal side. So you had to walk sometimes because you're going up steep hills or steps, and you just had to enjoy it rather than trying to smash out for. Hey, I recognise that name. Hello, for a fast time.
Okay, that's amazing. I mean, and the record has been broken. In a couple of years back by Ray Holmes, who was 21 years.
So
Uh,
there's one thing I know though, because over in the States they're allowed to do it before they're 18. As far as I'm aware of, there is someone over there that was 18 when he did his 100, but
okay,
I don't have any official information of that, and that was done before my one as well. Uh,
okay.
but
But I think officially yours were there, and now officially I think it's Ray Holmes.
yes,
What's your take on this? I mean, like, because to break a record, people might actually overdo it. Should there be a limit on age? Because it's running a marathon is not easy. You're running 42 kilometers or 26.2 miles. Uh, should there be a limit, as to when to start, so that people don't go crazy about it, and suddenly you might have a 10-year-old wanting to do it. What's your recommendation on that?
so yes and no. It is all depending on the actual person because everyone is different. Um, but I completely understand why they don't want children doing it because they're still developing, still growing. My youngest, who's 2, is just absolutely loving running, going out with me at the moment, and I don't push her, or if she wants to go, she goes. That's her choice. My view is if they want to do it, and it's not they don't feel discomfort or anything like that, then I would happily encourage them to do it. I actually put on a race myself here in the UK in December. And it's a 6-hour event, and I've had a few kids come along, quite young age, and basically under UKA rules, they're only allowed to do the 5K at the most. But it's not because my event's not under UKA rules; it's under another governing body. It wasn't a problem, and they could do. They had the 6 hours, they do as many laps as they like, and they go out, do one lap, then stop, enjoy the snacks and sweets, and then they talk to their parents, and if they were happy to go again, they went and done another lap, and they didn't have to run, they could walk it as well. And I think one of them was 13, and he ended up doing like a half marathon, maybe slightly more.
Okay.
So I'm all for it, but it all depends on your physical body, who you are, because everyone is different.
Okay, fine. That's interesting to know it, uh, uh, because I mean we really don't want Yeah, you're right about it. It depends upon the person's physical condition as to if they're capable enough to doing it. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Record you now when I look at your records, you're a Guinness Book of World Record holder for the best time for 10 days 10 marathon. With the timing is 27 hours, 38 minutes and 36 seconds, which is the best time. You went and that was you had a previous record and you went and bettered it. Um, the question is that for people out here, because the 10-day 10 marathon concept is new in India. We don't have many such races. I know Mr. Shivabalan Pandian is trying to bring that in India.
Yes.
The 10-day 10 marathon concept. Maybe next month he might be having it actually in my city in Bangalore. Um, the question is that how can one train for this event for such a grueling race, because it's not easy to run 10 marathons in 10 days.
No, it's not. And there are different methods to training for it. For me, it was doing 1 marathon, 3 marathons, and 5. I naturally built my way into it because all the different marathons I did. For someone who's new to it, I reckon they should start off with 1, 2, 3 marathons before they think about a 10. And I know a few people that have just jumped straight into it and done it, which isn't a problem for them. They took it steady. You can think about walk, running. If you wanted to do kind of a training session for it, I would say like run for an hour, rest for like half an hour, run again, and just see how that is and do that for a couple of days. It's all about seeing how your body copes with it, and it's not just the running, it's the mental side, it's the food and drink you're going to have between it. So there's a lot of variations. And the last one I done last year in Italy, I ended up running into a stand-up bin and hitting my hip. I ended up slowing down and just changing the way I was going to run. I was hoping to run quite quickly. But then I managed to pick the pace up once that wasn't hurting. You just got to find a way that suits you best.
Okay, but the time what you manage is amazing for a 10-day. So you're not running slow. I mean, unlike a normal hobby runner, you manage in 27 hours.
Yeah.
So
For those
how
who
did
don't
you?
know, I
Yeah.
was going to
So
say,
how
for
did you
those who
train
don't
for
know, it's an average of 2 hours and 45 minutes.
that? Amazing.
Yeah.
So how did you manage your recovery for during such races?
So my recovery happens through the run as well as after the run. To make it sound more simpler, I run the first half marathon around 1:10 to 1:15, which is pretty quick. And then the second half, I'll be looking to do like a 1:20 to 1:30. So it's like a recovery run within the marathon. So you're running slower so the body can recover. And then afterwards, in like the first 20 minutes, try and make sure that I've had some food. Make sure that I'm drinking during the marathon, because I have a very bad habit of not drinking at all throughout the whole
Okay.
marathon. And when you're doing multi-day ones, you need to make sure that you're getting the fluids in. Your body needs that because obviously you're sweating and all the other little bits. And then later in the evening, I won't just sit down. I will try and do some walking, moving about. I will lie down every now and again just to rest the legs. But I'll like leave the hotel just to go to the shop, maybe pick up a chocolate bar or something, just so that my legs can loosen up so they don't go all stiff.
Okay. Any diet plan you follow during that time? Because I'm sure, I know you told me that you're not good in drinking water, but I hope you're good at eating food. I know. So anything in particular you were, you were very particular about that diet that you have to eat during the 10 days, 10 runs.
So I am quite fussy when it comes to eating, and I try and keep it plain and simple especially during the 10 and 10. So I'll have like just plain pasta with some cheese sprinkled on top, pizza, garlic bread, just chicken on its own, no sauces. I might have a korma or something light, um, but I try to keep it very simple. Crisps, uh, easy to eat chocolate bars, sometimes jelly babies with jelly beans. Um, I've got quite a sweet tooth.
Okay.
I love my sweets. But I
Okay.
try not to have too many if I can help it.
Okay. So no vindalus and chicken tikka masala.
Not for me, no. My wife maybe, but not me.
Okay, fine. We got a few more people joining in. We got a very senior runner who has also been running for the past 3 decades, Mr. Prabhakar from south of India, saying hello to you. We also have got one more runner from Bangalore who's saying hello.
Nice.
The 10 day 10, you also have done back-to-back marathons, right? So morning one and what
Yes.
evening one. How do you do that?
So I think it was 2015. I did 24 marathons in 17 days. And these were different events located in different locations in the UK. So the first one was a double, 2 marathons, and then the next one was a 14 in 7. So 1 marathon in the morning, 1 hour marathon in the evening for 7 days. And that was really tough because the morning ones, I was a lot quicker than the evening ones. But I was just trying to get around them ready for the next day. And then when I did, so after the 14 and 7 was a triple or a double, I think. And from going from that to knowing I wasn't going to be doing another one in the evening, I got so much quicker. I won 23 of the 24 marathons, and I set, I think it was 5 new course records. So the double, the 14 and 7, I set the course record. And the ones after that, the separate courses, I set course records for those as well. So I was
Okay.
doing really well during that time. And it was just keeping going between the 7 and 14. It was just get up in the morning, make sure I had breakfast, get to the start line, get out there, run it in a reasonable time, so I wasn't out there too long. Then try and get back, eat, kind of rest, break, stretch my legs so I didn't seize up too much, and then jump out, ready to go again. And I did find it harder the second one, but I think I was running about 4 hours, 4.5 hours in the evening to my,
Okay.
I think about 3 hours to 3.5 hours in the morning. Luckily, it wasn't really hot, but it was a nice, easy, uh, cool. I'm just trying to think, cloudy day.
Okay. So I mean, so how many times have you done this back to back?
Which one?
The back to back runs?
I've done loads and loads of back-to-back events. That was just one. A friend of mine wanted to set a female record, and I just
Okay.
jumped on the back of it and said, "Oh yeah, I'll come and do them as well." And
Okay.
they were just multiple. I've done, I think, uh, 3 or 4 7 and 7s and 13 10 and 10s, and that was just
Oh,
multiple ones I added together.
wonderful. So between 110 to 10 and 10 and another one, how many what is the time between one race, 110 and 10 and the second 10 and 10? How much time would you give yourself to recover and rest?
As much as I can, really. When I broke that world record, I just finished a 7 and 7 on I think it was the Sunday, and I started the 10 and 10 on the Thursday. So it was only a
Okay.
few days. And I think because of that, I was actually stronger going into the 10 and 10 because my legs were prepared and ready to go again.
Okay, that's nice. We got one question from Adam. So Arvinder saying that are you going to run the 40th race? And where are you going to run?
Is that the London Marathon?
Yeah.
Yes, I will be. Traveling down the southwest to my hometown. They have an athletics track, so I'll be running my marathon on an athletics track.
Okay. So Arvinder, I hope you had an answer to the question. So my question to you, Adam, is that from running a marathon, you went on to run ultra marathons. So what made you? I mean, what made you change that? I know you have done back to back, which is almost equal to an ultra marathon, even though you give yourself rest time. A lot of us run the whatever time you're taking, almost double of that, which we hobby runners run. But what made you do the ultra marathon, and how much is the farthest distance you have ran in one day?
So even during my 100, I did do a couple of ultras. It was basically whatever I could find, so I could add another one to my tally. And same with some of the ultras I did. It was just because it was a free weekend that I didn't have any races on, and I just wanted to do something different. And I've done, I think, 3, maybe 4 24-hour events. I've done 100-mile events. The furthest I've done, I think, was 112 miles in 24 hours. Obviously, I've done a 100-miler in 17 hours. But 2 weeks ago, I did 100 miles on my treadmill in just under 13 hours.
Okay.
What else? I've done quite a lot of crazy things recently. I did 1,200 miles 2 months ago in a month's time.
Okay. That's amazing. 1,200 miles.
Yeah. It helps because I did 100-miler, 250-miler, and then 150 miles 1 week after the other.
Okay. Was that on track, on a trail, or was it on treadmill?
So the first one I did was never planned. But sadly, my friend passed away that week, and he was supposed to be running 100 miles that weekend. So I said I would go and run 100 miles in his memory, so I went and did it. Most of it was on a canal path on a trail, and then I did some bits on the treadmill, just because it was too dark to run on the canal, and it was easier to run on the treadmill, so I could see where I was going. The 250-mile, again, most of that was canal, a few bits on the treadmill, because the canal is about half an hour drive, and sometimes it's just easier to jump on the treadmill because it's right there. And then the 150-mile was all on the... No, it wasn't. I did do some laps around my estate.
Okay.
Do you know the Backyard Ultra?
Yes, Backyard Ultra, yes.
Yes.
We had few people from India also participating in that this year.
Yes, I did. They were in the last one. I'm pretty sure there was one chap who got really high up. I think he did that.
Yeah.
Because I did 36 hours, and my aim was just to beat the 31 hours I did before. And once I'd done that, I was happy. I was happy to pull out.
Okay.
But yeah, I did that here, and I know they've got another one. We've got an actual one in Northern Ireland in 3 weeks' time, and I have been asked to represent the UK, but because it's so far away from my home and I have to get a boat or a ferry to get across to them, it's kind of, I'm trying to sort it out, and I want to do it, and I want to represent the UK, but at the same time, it's quite a lot of money, and I don't know at the moment.
Okay.
Because that's the championships.
Okay, that's nice. Backyard Ultra, I think that is something which has come up because of the Corona times or the pandemic, and that a lot of it's amazing set of records which people have done actually. So the people have ran for 67 hours, on a treadmill. That's amazing actually. So there's a question when people have heard about the volume of running which you do. There's a question which is related to injuries. You know, what injuries have you faced during your initial part of the career, or if you are not, I mean, what have you done to prevent those injuries?
So technically, I have had no injuries.
That's
The,
what.
I played hockey, or I still do from time to time, and a lady hit me in the leg with a hockey stick, which split my shin open.
Okay.
But I still did run with it. If I ever feel like a niggle or something in my legs, I continue to run, and I try not to change the style of my running, because that's where a lot of people get injured, is because they feel it, so they change the way they run, and people get hip injuries or ankle injuries because they try to change something that's not natural to them. I So if I ever get anything, I will continue running on it and just obviously build my way through it again. But I've never had, touching wood, anything serious.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just generally, like I said earlier, I don't put 100% into one race. I spread it out, so I'm not pushing my body to its full limits. So I'm not breaking down my body at all.
Okay. A lot of people they start quite late, especially hobby runners.
Yeah.
Where they say, okay, suddenly they say, okay, they are overweight and they want to. One of the major reasons of running is to lose weight, and they end up trying to run fast or too much, and they end up getting injured. So, what would be your recommendations to all of them, especially when they start, at the age of 30 and 40 and 50 and above, to prevent injuries?
So if they're just basically getting into it, start slow and steady. Do simple things like, even if it's just walking, walk 1 mile, take a break, walk another mile, and then maybe like the next day try running a couple 100 meters or half a mile. See how your body feels. I know someone over here who's quite a big chap who tried to get straight into it, and he tried to go out and do a 5K, and he ended up hurting himself straight away, instead of building it up. He's fine now, and he's actually got into it, and he's lost quite a bit of weight, which is great. But yeah, you just need to gradually build your way into it rather than rushing, because rushing, you're not going to get anywhere. And my dad's quite a big chap, and he if he loses weight too quickly, for some reason he puts it on really fast. So you just need to do it. But again, it depends on the person. You just need to take your time and work at it, and stay dedicated to what you're going to be doing.
Okay.
Some days there are going to be really hard days. You're going to struggle, but that is natural. Everyone goes through that. So you just forget about that day, think of the positive stuff, and just go out and do something simple again. It doesn't always have to be fast, long. It could be short, simple. As long as you're up and moving, it makes a big difference.
Okay.
I know diet is also another thing, but I don't ask me about that, because that's not my forte.
Okay. That's nice. I hope Marimutu has got the answer for that. Arvinder has asking one more question. It's about Sweet Peak's top taste. Now I'm not sure what is that, but I hope you know what he's talking.
Sweet Peaks is a sugar cube that I carry, or I did carry, in the back of my pockets. So when I
Okay.
was running, I would have like a little sugar cube, and eat it. And they had three flavors: citrus, berry, and something else. I can't remember what the other was. I forgot all the flavors. I just ate them. But I think I think they've stopped, or they are stopping doing that at the moment, or they at the beginning of because they're actually a sweet company, and they're focusing on their sweets.
Okay.
Which is a shame, because I really enjoyed having a little sugar cube in the back of my pocket. Just put it in, dissolves with some water, or just eat it as it is.
Okay. And you love sweets, right?
I do.
Okay. One of the records you hold is for the most number of wins for marathon and ultra marathons, and you're ranked number four with more than 200 plus wins. And in UK, you're number one in that. Um, So the question is that what does Adam has have, which nobody else has got? What's the secret of success?
Just giving it a go. A lot of the time, it is just turning up and giving it a go, and plenty of practice. I didn't
Okay.
obviously win the ones I started off doing, but the more I did, the yeah, the more I did, the more I was getting used to it.
Okay. So if you can describe, like, an Adam Holland's training schedule. So if you're going to participate in a marathon, say in couple of months time or in a month's time, how would you prepare for that? What's your training schedule for that?
So technically, I don't have a training schedule because I was racing every weekend. So that
Yeah,
was my training.
yeah.
So it'd be whatever race I could find. I've never really focused on a race. Um, like I said, I like doing lots of different ones. I get to meet all the different people. So I don't have a training plan as such.
Okay. How about strength training? Would you be doing that?
Nope. No.
You're naturally strong.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of it's in the mind. Because
Okay.
I've always been physical. Um, Growing up, I played football, hockey, cricket. I worked for a newsagent, and I was riding my bike every morning. So it's not like I was a lazy person that didn't do much, or I was just someone who worked in an office. I was always physically doing something.
Okay.
Um, then, well, I still like that now. So at work, I'm walking around doing parcels and stuff.
I mean, you seem to be running almost all weekend. All weekends is definitely dedicated to races. Um, how do you manage your recovery time? Actually, because when you're doing so much, that is part of the training anyway for you, and you won't be doing long runs on weekends. So on weekdays, what do you do? What's a typical Adam Holland's week like?
So a typical week is I work Monday to Friday from the morning till 3, 4 o'clock in the evening. I go home. I have a family. I've got 2 daughters and a third one on the way.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Then I would do bits with them. My daughter goes running with me sometimes. Um, then if I find a race, I'll go do that. At the moment, obviously, there are many of them. If there's an event going on Swift, which is a virtual gaming thing on the treadmill, I would go jump on my treadmill and run with people from around the world. And from what date are we on? In about 3 days' time, I'm starting a Swift Academy thing, and I'm doing the running and cycling. So I'll be doing a lot more cycling next month.
Okay. That's wonderful. And you recently attempted during the pandemic a world record attempt on treadmill,
Yes.
trying to do the fastest half marathon, full marathon, and a 50K. How was that attempt? And when are we going to get the results for this?
It was horrible. it, it was so hot. Um, a month prior to that, I did 1 hour, 3 minutes, and so many seconds on my treadmill for the half marathon. So that was kind of my aim when I had it all set up officially. I had someone watching, I had it an official and all the paperwork and stuff. But I picked the hottest day of whatever time it was. I got started, and I just started struggling quite early on. And the record was, I think it was 1:10 something or other in the late seconds. And I was supposed to be going for the half marathon and 50K all in one go.
Yeah.
Uh, but I got to the marathon, I broke it by less than a minute, 1:10 and 8 seconds or something like that, which was a lot slower than I wanted. And if I carried on at that pace, I still technically would have broke the marathon record, but it was just getting hotter, and I just there was no point. There was no point even trying. I didn't want to injure myself or fall off the treadmill. So I called it a day, and that was it basically.
Okay. So when is the next attempt going to come?
When I get it all sorted, maybe later on in the year, maybe earlier next year. Here, my daughter.
The little one wants to come.
Yeah, she'd love to be here watching.
Yeah, she can come. No problems. Absolutely okay if she can come. So you won so many races. Of all the races you won, if you want to pick up a favorite one, which one would that be?
I don't have one. I honestly don't have a favorite race, but just because I've got so many great memories and they're all different. I I've got favorites, like my 10 and 10 with Great Barrow Challenge, the Italy 10 and 10, the Brathwaite one as well. Um, there's a lot of like little events locally here that I like doing, and those ones I would happily go back and do again and again. There's a couple I probably wouldn't do again, but
Okay.
that's just because I didn't like the race, or for whatever reason, I don't know. It might be too far away.
Okay. So, I mean, 200 plus wins for marathons and ultra marathons. So, so what is the future for you when it comes to racing now? Where do you look yourself before you retire from competing?
I
How
never
many
retire.
wins are you looking at? Never retire. Okay.
Never. To be honest,
So,
I've got no idea because at the moment everything's up in the air with this coronavirus, and it's difficult to find a race that's actually happening. I'm supposed to be. I've got a board there that tells me all the bits I'm doing. I'm
okay.
doing the virtual London on Sunday. Where are we? I can't even see it. At some point, it's not on the board. At some point, I think it's the beginning of November, I'm doing a 24-hour event on the track.
Okay.
It's it's a chance to represent Great Britain, get selected. I think I've got to do about 150 miles. I'm not sure if I'll get there, but I want to beat my 112 or 115 miles. See if I can beat that. That's my target.
Okay. That's wonderful. So, uh, so you don't have any favorite races, but were there any race where you struggled but still managed to win? I'm going to change the question a bit.
Yes, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few like that.
Okay. Any
Because
experience you can share with us on that?
I'm trying to think. Because a lot of the time I go off fast and I struggle later on because I've gone off too fast. But luckily, I've got such a big gap. I'm ahead, and I'm trying to think. I know there's one on Dartmoor I did where that happened. There's a race that because of their organisation, was really bad. Um, the Liverpool Rock and Roll Marathon.
Okay.
They cater for the mass, but they didn't really cater for the elite.
Okay.
And 2 years in a row, I gave them the benefit of the doubt and went back and did it again. And they just really mucked it up. The lead bike took me the wrong way. But I didn't. I finished second in that one, so I didn't win it. But the chap that beat me was a friend of mine. I knew who he was. He came up beside me and go, "Why don't you come run with me?" I was like, "No," because I just completely lost it in my mind. I was like,
Okay.
"No, you carry on." But the funny thing was, they on the speakers as he finished, they were all like going, "Here's Adam Holland coming in for the win," and it wasn't. It wasn't
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Okay. They goofed that up also. So,
Yeah.
okay. Fine. So when it comes to running, you are an inspiration to many. I mean, a lot of people follow you in a lot of apps, which is the running apps. Um, is there any runner you look up to actually that which is an inspiration for you, or who is an inspiration for you?
Well, I look up to many people that just give it a go and do their best. There's just so many people have done so many fantastic things. I don't. One of the things that I am rubbish with is names. I
Okay.
recognize things like the one just now I saw. But like, I guess Steve Edwards was kind of the first person I inspired to try and beat. and I broke his because he had the youngest person, and he was the one who had the 10 in 10 record prior to me as well. I don't have any particular people, just lots of different people who do amazing things.
Okay, fine. So only you mentioned one favorite, which is nice. At least we got one name. uh, so, uh, so when are you going to? A very important question is this: when are you going to race in India?
When I can, I would love to race in India. At the moment,
Okay, fine.
it's not feasible and viable.
Okay. Any dream races which you want to participate but not been able to till now?
Say again.
Any dream races? Something which you loved seeing it for the scenery and the organization, which you want to but you haven't done till now.
So there are a couple of 10 in 10s I've not done. I know there's another one abroad somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I know it's abroad somewhere that I would like to do. One of the dream races growing up I really wanted to do was the country music marathon in Nashville, which I think
Okay.
it's got a different name now. I think it's just the rock and roll marathon.
Okay.
But I like country music, so that was my dream marathon when I was growing up that I never got to do.
Wonderful. So we are. So my question. This is the final question I'm going to ask you because I know that you just come from a race, and maybe you are hungry a bit. So I don't want to hold you for longer period of time. Just wanted to ask you that if you want to give an advice to any youngsters who want to become, like you as an athlete, what are your top advices for any runners?
Don't always take it serious. Enjoy it. You'll have bad days, but you'll also have fantastic days. You'll be able to meet amazing people no matter where you go, and try and make friends because those friends are your competition, and sometimes they are the best people in the world to you because it will push you to drive on and do better than you'd ever imagined.
Okay. So I think it's been wonderful talking to you, Adam, and I hope that we can do this one more time again, or we can have a series of Adam Holland talks for India, through this page. And it's been really, really nice. Before I sign up, there is one more question which Avinda is asking. Did you run 7 marathons, 7 continents, 7 days? Or have you run
No,
that?
no, but that is another one I would absolutely love to do, but it's so expensive. And if I had the funding to do that, I would do that because I would like to go after the record if I
Okay,
did do it.
that's wonderful. So it's been wonderful talking to you, and I wish you all the best. And we hope that we will see the Guinness Book of World Record for the fastest run on a treadmill very soon, and hopefully the weather would also support you this time. And so thank you very much. I would request you to be in the broadcast studio while I just thank the audience in a minute.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you very much.
Thank you. So thank you very much all for being in. Next week we got a few more interviews coming up, and I will let you know the schedule quite soon. Thanks for tuning in. Love you all.